So the Houston Texans just recently took on the Buffalo Bills in what was a true test for the team. Stroud had a big game, Diggs played great, Nico Collins continued to be solid, but got injured and is now on the IR. I'm going to talk about that later in this one, but overall, the Houston Texans are hitting on all cylinders, and I want to talk about why I think they are a real Super Bowl contender. Big thanks to one team that plays over in Cleveland. But anyways, before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. Alright, so to quickly recap this game, the defense set the tone and stood tall in the first drive, forcing a punt. But midway through the first, the Bills would get on the board first with a Tyler Bass 38-yard field goal. But then, Stroud drove the Texans down the field, and Cam Akers finished things off with a 15-yard rush into the left side of the end zone to put Houston on top 7-3. Then the defense immediately got a stand, and Stroud hit Nico Collins for a huge 67-yard touchdown. I am really excited about Nico, but just as it seemed like he was starting to have that breakout season everyone had been hoping for, now he is on the IR. But hopefully he recovers quickly and will be back out on the field as soon as possible. The second quarter was completely dead, nothing really happened, until the very end when Houston added on another 50-yard field goal right before half to take a 17-3 lead into halftime. And then to start out the third quarter, they got another field goal, and before you knew it, Houston was up by 3 scores, and from there, they didn't play their best football, I'll admit, but they managed the game well enough to win with a final score of 23-20. I know everyone would have preferred to win by a much bigger margin to avoid any potential heart attacks, but at the end of the day, a win is a win, and the Bills have shown us they are one of the better teams in the league. So you can even go as far as saying that this was a statement win. The Texans may be the most complete team in the NFL. Even with injuries, they just have guys you can plug right in. I'm not saying replacing Collins will be easy. I mean, there's a case that he's been the best receiver in the league through the first 5 weeks of the season, but you got Diggs, you got Dell, Stroud still has a ton of weapons around him, and the Texans can get the running game involved a little more as well to take some of the pressure off of the receivers. Yeah, for us, again, losing Nico, everybody has to get going. And so, we need everybody, D'Amico Ryan said. Everybody has to step up and own their role. So we'll see who that'll be for us on Sunday. We don't know right now today who's going to make those plays. You never know. And that's what's exciting about our game. Any given Sunday, different guys being playmakers, stepping up, making plays. Through week 5, Stroud ranked 3rd in passing yards with 1,385 and will of course lean more on the wideouts Stefon Diggs and Dell. One reason why the Texans traded the 2025 second round pick for Diggs in the offseason was to elevate the ceiling of the offense, but his presence still gives them a dynamic player if Dell or Collins miss time again. With Dell missing 9 games including the playoffs last season as a rookie and Collins missing 12 in his first 3. When Dell and Collins both were available last season, the Texans offense averaged 364 yards and 23.1 points per game, while converting 44% of their third downs. On the other hand, Diggs hasn't missed a game because of injury since 2018, and will slide into the #1 receiver role in the meantime. He ranks 7th in receptions with 31, only 1 behind Collins coming into week 6, and doesn't rank far behind Collins in several other statistical categories. I think Diggs is great, Stroud said. I definitely think that he is already a leader, but you can tell in practice today he knows his responsibility now with Nico out. That is really with all of them. Everybody has to step up, even myself included, to pick up the slack where Nico isn't playing. We definitely just have to hold each other accountable and just be better than that. And he is definitely going to be at the forefront of that. The thing with Diggs that scares many people is how he acts off the field and in the locker room. I mean, you've all seen the videos where they ask which teammate would you not let your daughter date. Everyone instantly says Diggs without even thinking twice, and the Bills got rid of him super fast. But so far, so good in Houston. There have not been any issues, at least that the mainstream media knows about. The Texans had been without Joe Mixon the past 3 weeks with an ankle injury, but he returned to practice Thursday, and his backup Dameon Pierce returned to practice on Wednesday after missing the last 4 games with a hamstring injury. As I talked about a little bit ago, getting the running game back on track could help Houston make up for the loss of Collins and avoid having to rely heavily on the pass game. But Collins will be out a minimum of 4 games, and the pass defenses they will face, the Patriots, Green Bay Packers, Indianapolis Colts and New York Jets aren't the toughest. Only the Jets at 136 yards per game have a pass defense that ranks in the top 5 in yards allowed per game coming into week 6. The Colts were 29th through the first 5 weeks, the Packers were 23rd, and the Patriots were 25th. Now switching over to the defensive side of things, this is a defense with a defensive line sporting both top-end talent and plenty of depth, with 10 players registering at least 1 sack through 5 games. As Will Anderson Jr. and Daniel Hunter bend the edge, Houston's interior linemen are increasingly collapsing the pocket. For the second time this season, the Texans are playing against a rookie quarterback. If they're able to treat Drake May as rudely as they treated Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears, they should be able to win at New England for the first time in franchise history. Overall, everything just seems to be coming together for this team. That Deshaun Watson trade a few years back ended up working out in every way possible. They were able to add more talent and youth, they got rid of that bum, and now, salary cap wise, they're in a great spot with all this talent throughout the roster. That's pretty much why they went for Diggs in the first place. It was more talent and basically no risk, because if it didn't work out, then so be it. But yeah, the Texans have had a great start to this season and are showing no signs of slowing down. Here's what some of the players and media had to say about this hot start.
Eliminating Josh, man, is a great player. It was a tough out for us, but it took a valiant effort from everybody. It was a collective effort. D-line, we knew we weren't going to get many sacks against him because he's so elusive in the pocket. We just had to keep rushing, like keep the pressure on him. So they did a great job of keeping the pressure on him, and our back-end guys, the way they covered, that was the reason why we played tight coverage, made the plays we needed to make. It was that collective effort of rush and coverage being tied together.
Just a great opportunity, to play against a really tough Buffalo Bills team. But yeah, the first half, went really well. We're moving the ball like we wanted, running the ball. In the second half, man, we weren't not moving the ball. We were just shooting ourselves in the foot again. Just taking penalties. I missed a couple reads on my throws, and had the turnover, the 2 turnovers. So. When you play like that, you give them opportunity to come back, and they made some adjustments, started taking away a lot of our passing, but at the same time, they weren't taking away everything. I got to be better and just get through my progressions, but all in all, you learn with a dub, and that's the most important thing about it.
The Texans' schedule is not easy the rest of the way. They have their work cut out for them, but CJ Stroud just seems to be that guy. He really broke the Ohio State QB curse. His throws come out so smoothly with so much precision. And if I was going to build a team around somebody, there aren't too many guys I would pick before him. That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.